Hi, Mrs. Lawson. As you'll notice, my learning portfolio is in video format, excluding my learning goals and communication styles inventory. I did this because in my last submission of my learning portfolio, you said that my reflection was better and I was more self-aware in my introductory video than I was in my learning goals and my communication styles inventory. And that is why I'm doing the rest of my learning portfolio on video, because I 100% agree with you. I find that I can better express myself while I'm talking to you rather than just trying to write down words that and that's hard for me to express. I also took into account that you'll be marking about 140 learning portfolios, and I wanted mine to be different. I wanted you to be more intrigued into mine because it would be like as if I was talking to you. I also did this because I want to look back at it. When I'm in fourth year, third year, who knows, 6 years from now, I want to look back and see how much I've changed and what my goals used to be and where I will be at. So I hope that I can look back on this and be proud of what I did. I'm going to start by talking about my reflections on the three specializations. After having a tutorial on all three of them, I can now finally grasp what the similarities and differences of each specialization are. Going to these tutorials was truly an eye-opener for me because it gave me a sense of what each program is like, and that's extremely important to me because I want to make the right choice and be very confident in the decision I make. I'll start off by telling you what I learned from the tutorial on ultrasound. Aside from acoustic impedance, the transducer, sound waves, I found out something really interesting about myself. When you were talking about the acoustic impedance, I was very attentive, and I found myself very interested in every single informative statement that was brought up about it. When you asked the class questions, I could answer the questions in my head. I didn't raise my hand because I was too shy, but I could answer the questions, and I wanted you to ask more because I was so intrigued by it, and I was so interested in it. And at that very moment, I was like, wow, I actually like this. Like, that'd be so cool if I can do an ultrasound on someone and notice a mass on their liver or in their bladder. Just I found that so interesting. And after the tutorial, the whole day I was thinking about what went on and how I felt about it. And at that very moment, I thought I wanted ultrasound. I thought it would be a good challenge for me. And also, the fact that you were with a patient for quite a while, like for a long period of time sometimes, I just love that because I'm the type who loves to communicate with people and build relationships with people. When I did the communication styles inventory, the result I got was the promoter slash socializer. And this is why I thought I could be happy with choosing ultrasound because I'll be able to socialize with people. It wouldn't be too quick and it wouldn't be too long. So that was one really good thing that I got out of it. However, after the tutorial on radiation therapy, my thoughts sort of switched over. The biggest difference I found between ultrasound and radiation therapy is that radiation therapy, you are helping to treat a patient. You're not diagnosing a patient. The patient already knows their condition. However, in ultrasound, you're trying to discover what is wrong with the patient. That simple difference changed my perspective. I also realized that in ultrasound, you do get to spend time with the patient, but you do not see a patient every single day like you would for radiation therapy. I feel as though I would love to build a relationship with someone who I see every day. I feel like it would be beneficial for me as well as a patient. Seeing a cancer patient go through something every day and seeing their strength can help me build my strength as an individual and open my eyes more to what is really important in life. I also love how radiation therapy is sort of like a project. Every patient is different. Every patient has different types of cancers. And for one patient, you must make the right equipment for them. And as well, you have to mark them with different tattoos differently and set up the laser beams differently. And I just find that really interesting. The only thing that I found the least likable about radiation therapy is having to be on a computer, figuring out the procedure for the cancer patient. I'm the type of person who does not like to deal with computers or any technology for that matter. So that's what I found to be a bump in the road for radiation therapy. So I'm kind of torn between that. So for radiography now, unfortunately, I was not able to attend the tutorial on radiography because of basketball purposes. However, I did get some background information from my peers as well as the slides that were posted on Avenue. Even before hearing back from my peers, I didn't have as much interest in radiography compared to ultrasound and radiation therapy. My feelings at that time were that, I don't know, radiography was not for me because you see plenty of patients throughout the whole day. You do not necessarily build a relationship with that patient. When I got an x-ray done on my knee, the conversation between me and the technician was very short, not necessarily in a rude way, but the time frame we had was very short, and most of the communication was towards where my body should be placed in order for the picture to be taken accurately. Excuse me. And going back to the communication style inventory, my personality type is a socializer, and I 100% agree with that. So I wasn't really interested in radiography, and I wasn't too worried about it because at that time I thought it's not for me. Like I felt like I wouldn't be myself. I felt like I would be truthfully bored by doing that. Trying to pinpoint one specific thing from each profession that I find interesting is pretty tough, but I guess this is my general view of each. In ultrasound, I love the fact that you get to work with sound waves. Also, if I were to get into ultrasound, I would love to do abdominal ultrasound, specifically for babies. Wanting to learn more about how exactly the sound waves work makes me think ultrasound is the route for me. Sound waves have to do with math, and math is my least favorite subject, but the way the tutorial went was that I wanted to learn more about how it worked, and I guess, I don't know, it was the first time I was very interested in learning about something. It's hard for me as an athlete to find other things excluding my sport that interest me and that make me determined to learn more about. For radiation therapy, the one significant thing that grabs my attention is the opportunity to build relationships and to interact with all kinds of different cancer patients. For as long as I can remember, every person who would characterize me would always include that my ability to speak with people in a respectful and genuine way is really good. Also, the fact that the cancer patients already know their disease really helps me out because I'm an emotional person, as I mentioned before in my last video. And for me to be, I don't know, for me to be able to help cure them instead of telling them the bad news would just be awesome, because I don't know how I would take the bad news. However, since I am an emotional person, maybe radiation therapy might not be the best thing for me, because considering that some patients don't always get better and live for a long time. This has impacted me significantly. It makes me question if this would help me with myself. If I see these strong patients going through therapy almost every day, could that build me up to be a stronger person? Or would the total opposite happen? I could be sad all the time and not be able to live happily if I see the people I build relationships with not make it through their treatment. For radiography, I'm going to be honest and tell you that I haven't found something that has impacted me in any way for radiography. I find radiography interesting, but for some reason as of now, I haven't found something that has caught my eye or intrigued me to even be more interested in it. So with all these reflections on the specializations, I asked myself, now what? What can I do to help me make my decision? As of now, my focus is between radiation therapy and ultrasound. But how do I go about learning more about these specializations? For what I can tell you now, my plan in the long run is short and simple. I will my plan in the long run is to go with my gut feeling. Don't get me wrong. I will still attend all classes to learn more about the professions, and I'll attend the labs that we get to go to soon. But what I know as of now is that it's impossible for me to be certain with what choice I'm making. It's not like I've already had a career in all three of the specializations, so how do I know what to expect? Finding out new facts and information about these specializations will guide me to make the final decisions, which is my plan in the short run, is to just keeping up with all the information and being more curious about the specializations and asking more questions. However, no matter how much information or statistics I have, I know that my final decision will be based solely on how I feel. When the time comes, I know I'll have my choice. The time I choose could be a week from now, a month from now, or up until the absolute deadline when we have to pick. The one thing I have to keep in mind is that whatever profession I choose, it's something I want to do. And what I want to do is work in the healthcare system and help people. It could be helping people get x-rays, ultrasounds, or delivering radiation therapy. One thing that I have set up is to go to work with my best friend's mother. She's a radiographer, and I'm doing this because I still haven't found anything that really intrigues me about radiography, and I don't want to just give up on it so easily. I have interest in the other two specializations, but now I want to find interest in this last one so that I have no regrets of not really trying to give each specialization a chance. I find that I need to give 100% effort into all three of them because I don't know everything about them. And that's my learning goal, is to get myself interested in radiation therapy, radiography, and ultrasound.